Hello and welcome to the Northwest Treatment Vidcast.
Hey Jessica, how are you?
Good, Léa. How are you doing?
As good as can be expected right now.
There's definitely something to be said, about everything kind of being a real struggle right now with what's going on in the world. Actually, on that note, one of the things we wanted to share today in our video is a communication skill. So we thought today we would talk about expectations when it comes to communication. So in conversation with people, when it's an important conversation, when it's maybe clarifying roles of a romantic relationship or making sure you're clear on a project for work, you really want to make sure that the details are clear and understood by everybody present who is interacting with the information or the project. There was always the, and I don't remember it exactly, but an idea of any conversation, if there's two people involved, there's three different conversations going on. One, which is like the quote truth, which would be more like if you videotaped it anonymously and they didn't know. So word for word what someone's sharing. Right. And then what person A is hearing or thinking and what person B is hearing or thinking.
Right. Which are going to be completely different things.
Right. We bring our own past experiences into the conversation. If there's some kind of dual relationship going on, friends and coworkers, or, maybe an ex-romantic relationship, or you're struggling with work and therefore the conversation with your kid that afternoon could be a little tight or difficult.
Yeah. So what are some skills that you would suggest to people if they're struggling with communication and clear expectations with people?
If we wanted to have a conversation with a boss about a project that's not going well or that we need to have more support on, the first thing I would say is, list, like literally write out or type out on your phone or paper what you're wanting, right? What is your ask? What is your current understanding of the project? So what is the current data? And then how do you want to go about asking, right? Because that's important, because if it's asking someone in like a boss, you want to make sure that you're respectful, but you also want to make sure you're clear, and that you get the data you need to be the best possible employee you can be.
So what you're suggesting for people to do is make a list with like bullet points or a narrative, something where you list what you understand your role to be and what you want to be doing. And then you take that to your boss respectfully, right? Because we want to be respectful, and try to get your needs met that way, or just to clarify certain expectations to make sure you understand what's going on.
Exactly. And I mean, truthfully, it never is harmful to say something along the lines of, hey, I just wanted to make sure I have everything I need. Can I verify with you that I have the right data? There's never,
Right.
Anything wrong about asking for what you need, and doing so in a way to make sure everybody's, clear, eliminate that unknown, eliminate the ambiguity, the muddy waters of the communication. Make sure you're on the same page. And if there's anything that's important that you need a timeline on, right? Because sometimes we say, oh, just in the future, or we say, please get this done, but we don't know when, right? And especially if it's something work-based, especially with right now, we may need to know, do you need this by 5 o'clock today? Is this something to be done by next Monday, right? It's very helpful to put timelines on it, or often what I've heard of it and what I'll refer to it as is a sunset clause, right? This current understanding is what we want to keep until a particular point that we then both agree to, and we then have this detailed commitment to the timeline of the expectations.
Right, and then you can reset them, or you can change them, or you can keep them too, right?
Right, and it's really just about checking in about it, and if you need help or support, that's fine. But then you got to be confident enough and feel okay in that relationship to ask for that help.
Right. Which can be super difficult at times.
Right. And I mean, it's just because we say it doesn't mean it's easy either. It's one of those that just because we give you this idea does not mean it's going to be something you can immediately jump into. And there's nothing wrong with doing like a practice conversation out loud or with a friend or a partner, walk through stuff if need be.
And I like to point out like personal examples. So can I throw us under the bus?
Absolutely.
So this morning we actually did that, where you started talking about the clear expectations of what we're having, and I felt myself getting irritated. And all of a sudden I stopped and I was like, wait, you're clarifying expectations, right? Because to me in my head, I was like, we've had this conversation 15 times. I don't know why we're having it again. And then all of a sudden I was able to stop myself and go, oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Just as a clarifying expectations so that we know what we're doing today. Okay, yeah, no, that makes more sense. And like, we didn't change anything to the plan. It was just more like, hey, I'm just still making sure that this is what we're doing today.
And given kind of what's been happening with everything in the world right now, a lot of us are feeling extra stress. A lot of us are dealing with sleep problems, with a struggle to focus on one thing versus 5 things.
Newfound anxieties that you never knew existed.
Right. All of a sudden, people who thought they had no mental health issues are having anxiety or depression. Those of us that have pre-existing mental health, we're definitely still finding it a challenge. And so it's helpful to be prepared and do what we can with that. So we're hoping this idea and this communication skill can help you guys.
And so with that, we want you to be well and be healthy and have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you next time.